This is a new era, bringing it all together. Getting your right mind, we grind, we do it forever. That's the only mission. Elevated thinking, it's a vision. Yeah, I'ma keep moving if this don't hit. You can't stop me when I hop aboard the spaceship. Sit and watch as I make shit. I am not a human, I'm a living constellation.
Welcome back.
Hi.
Kayla's been having lots of fun.
I'm doing so good. How are you?
She's like,
down,
stop.
holding it down.
She's like, stop addressing it. I'm over it already.
I have never been better, and I would not like to address.
We're on an uphill climb now. We're good. We don't want to go backwards. We got K9s in the building.
We sure do.
Welcome to the
Thank
pod.
you for having me.
Yes.
Here,
Of course. Welcome to be here.
Um,
Why do I have such an issue with the intro lately?
Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for being here.
That's all good, man. I still have problems memorizing some of my bars, man.
Yep, facts.
I mean, so you know how it goes.
Facts. I can remember songs like you were talking about when we were off air, talking about songs from like 2005 from albums, you know, that you listen to all the time.
I'll remember.
You can remember every single lyric, but a new song that we just wrote,
Yeah.
I'm
Nah.
like, what is with my recall? I don't understand.
It makes zero sense
I
to me.
can't remember stuff that I need,
It's
but
crazy how much you got to go back and revise everything. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to performing. You know what I mean? Because you want to make sure that you're on point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Tracks. Especially like, if you got a lot of tracks too. Like, you know what I mean?
Gets to be a lot
What I
trying
say
to
in that
remember.
verse again? How did I open up?
Definitely.
oh, you want to know anything?
Yeah.
Like some shows, it's like, holy shit! I just performed this like last week. Like, why can't I remember this line or whatever? You know?
Facts.
Yeah, even the week before, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, at that point, or this may vary for each of you. I know we might have touched on this in past episodes, but like, what does rehearsal time look for you then? Because I imagine you want to get that like into like muscle memory, and you're trying to like, right? So like, what does rehearsal time look like?
Man, for me, it's different. Like, I just face the mirror for hours. Like, especially if I don't have like a space where I could do my thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let loose and just go crazy. Turn into a different. You know what I mean? You know how it goes.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
how I do it, I just perform. I just look in the mirror, make sure, just like when you're shadow boxing, kind of.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like
yeah.
just making sure everything you're saying is on point, and like it matches with. You know what I mean? Like if you're somebody that moves around a lot, make sure you're facing everybody. So.
And like
Some,
that,
you know what I mean? Some
yeah,
people,
so that way you know what you look like to other people when you're moving a certain way. Like, you know, it just comes second nature after that.
Facts, because
I do the same thing.
Right, exactly. Especially if you're dropping videos, people are gonna go see it and they're expecting to see how they saw you in the video.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The same energy
Right.
that you're
Yeah.
giving. Like what I try to do too is I actually try to look like in my eyes, because then it also just draws in more for me to have that eye contact with the fans that are in there. Because like, yeah, you can look around, like you would look around the room or whatever, and even when you're in the mirror, you can look around. But I try to look at myself
Very
too
to
to see who's in tune.
Right.
You just blew my mind there, because I'm used to being on stage as an actor, so I am never looking in the audience or
you're the
making
opposite.
eye contact with anybody. So
That's a whole different
I'm like,
ballgame, yeah.
So I'm trying to make sure, because I'm trying to get comfortable with that.
Right,
Because if you
makes
can
sense
look
for,
at yourself,
like,
Right.
what you're doing.
usually yourself is the biggest critic and critique of everything.
Like,
So
make sure that you're not
yeah.
doing nothing crazy.
Looking at the floor, or just
Right.
kind of wrap
Just like going like this.
And here we are again. Now, what do we got? What are we in? 5 minutes into the episode, 6 minutes into the episode, and we already got a mic drop.
And I got it on camera.
We're gonna put a reel together of all the mic drops that life has had on this podcast. But yeah, I'm with you on that.
Round one, right? We
Yeah.
dropped in the round one today.
I think you're okay.
It might be a good curse.
We're here for the jokes. We're here for
I'm
the
here for
jokes.
you.
Hey, right? That's what you gotta live life, no matter what you do, man. You can't take life too serious, bro.
Nah, I can't. I try not to, because it gets too depressing when you do. Speaking me personally and about me, I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just saying in general. I try not to, because I know that I've been in that place where I've taken a lot of things seriously. I think I just take it from life experience,
right?
Where I've taken it so seriously, and then I'm like, man, life sucks. But then you wake up and you look around, you're like, life really doesn't
It
suck.
doesn't really suck.
I'm just taking it
Right.
way more seriously than I need to, and I need to just let go.
There's always moments.
There
You know,
is.
as long
There
as you
is.
don't,
And it's
like,
okay
live
to feel
there.
it, right.
Right. Like,
Right.
It's like Crispy
Right,
said.
right.
It's like
right.
Crispy said.
Just don't live there. Like vacation there for a second.
It's all good to feel like that too. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all
Right.
human,
It's
man.
normal.
You know what
It's
I mean?
normal.
It's normal.
But it's like Crispy said, it's okay to be there, but don't live there, like you said.
Exactly right. You can't let one little thing ruin your day. I'm still working on that. Like
People be letting a spilt coffee
I'm
ruin
hard on
their
myself
entire
for
day.
Listen,
everything,
defense for me,
every
Facts.
single thing. Because in sports, like my coaches were hard on me, my teachers were hard on me, my parents were hard on me. Oh, if you don't get an A here, if you don't get good grades here, you're not playing or whatever. You know what I mean? So.
So yeah. So your expectation. You think,
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that just like stuck with me. Just gotta ease up with it.
You know, it's a good thing in a way though.
Yeah.
But like you said, just you know, what I mean, you ease up on it that way. Like, you don't overstress yourself.
Right, exactly.
That way later on you can be like, man, I can still do this, and you know what I mean. Still feel
Still
good
thrive.
about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather than some type of way
Right.
about it. Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes you have to be like when you have something coming up. If you have like a big deadline or something like that, it's go time at that point. So like you
Facts.
just gotta be. It's like okay,
Go.
let's
I
go.
hear
You
that.
know what I mean?
I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear sometimes it's
gotta
a
use
last
that as
minute thing.
motivation.
You feel me? Sometimes last minute things. You know what I mean? Some people react better to last minute situations rather than preparing. I don't know. It's crazy.
I'm a preparer.
That's
I'm a
right.
Me
preparer
too.
for sure.
Me too.
I'm a little of both, honestly.
Because
I
I
feel
just-
like I probably am more of like the 11th hour person. I guess there are certain things like I can be prepped, but I think I work best probably like when under pressure.
That's dope.
Is
That's
it?
dope. That's like, you know what I mean, PT player, like fourth quarter player type.
Exactly,
situation.
exactly. I just get in that moment, like if it is that 11th hour, it's more of like a quick prepare. Like, okay, I'm thrown into this situation, so what would be my normal process for attacking this situation? Like I still kind of prepare in that a little bit quicker, but I think that's where it starts to stress me out, is that now I'm like trying to get through, because I'm such a process person that once I'm trying to figure out that process, it's like making sure that it's right, because then if it goes wrong, then I'm like, crap, like now I have to refigure the process
how to rebuttal
to
that.
make it work quicker and the best way and efficiently throughout the whole thing, so that you get the result that you need. I just that happened to me last week.
Like restarting.
Yeah.
Right there, yeah.
My boss gave me a report to do, and that I had to do for numbers and stuff for the past 3 months. And it was literally like one of those things, like she's like, yeah, we needed this last week. And I was like, great, okay, so let me just jump on this. But there was no easy process to do it. Like I had to bean count everything. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, again, a process person trying to figure out what is going to be the easiest method for me to do this. There is no easy method. So now I literally have to sit and just one, two, and I'm like, but
That's a patient worker right there.
you have no, it took me 2 days.
The Lord granted you. Or
Yeah, we were
patience
talking about
that-
that, yeah.
I'm a manager. I look at numbers all day.
Yeah, I can't.
What's up?
I can't.
What's up, man? Being good with numbers, man.
It's important.
It's important, man. You know what I mean?
It's a good skill to have.
Most people ain't. You know?
That's true.
Yeah.
It's like they look at numbers like it's like a kryptonite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do though. They run from it. It's
Yeah.
like you have to be able to understand it, especially in like even in music too. You're like, oh, you make music. You don't need no numbers. Yeah, but I need to know like my audience. I need to know where that's going. I need to know the dollar signs that are going into what is happening with this.
You
'cause-
want to know where your
Right.
money's
I feel
going.
like there's so many numbers that you have to be aware of, and I'm not a numbers person, so that's where I'm like, I'm jealous of the people that like your brain is naturally geared towards that. 'cause,
Especially here in Massachusetts, right?
Tell me about it. Tell me about
You
it.
gotta be on point.
Yeah. But you've been on point, man. I mean, I've been seeing like it's like freestyle after freestyle.
I appreciate
Freestyle.
that.
That's
Appreciate that. Thank you,
not a
man.
lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, at least in what I see on my feed and everything else, not a lot of people are doing even something like that. I think again, it could just be my feed, but I mean, even not to demote that, still to keep the consistency of it is a lot. And
It is.
shout out to that.
I
You know what I
appreciate
mean?
that.
That's
I really do. It is, man. It's a passion, but it's exhausting. You feel me? So I really appreciate that. I mean, everybody that's looking out. I mean, 'cause you see what's up. It's a lot of work, and just like, you know, when I started from scratch, just like y'all started from scratch, and I'm still got a long way to go. You feel me? Like even when people saying like I'm putting in work, I still feel like it's still the beginning for me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Just 'cause I don't know. That's just me as a person, but I don't know how y'all look at situations like that, but
Yeah, that feels the same for me too.
right?
It's like, oh my God, you're like you said, you're putting in work, you're doing this and that, like, thank you for this. But it's like, oh yeah, but there's greater heights I want to reach.
Facts.
So
Facts.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit before. Like my thing is kind of along the same lines as y'all of, yeah, I've reached a point, but there's always something that I'm striving for, but I'm also not trying to get so super high focused where like enough is not ever enough, where I'm not satisfied.
Yeah, that's yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at each level I'm like, okay, I can be satisfied here. I can be satisfied
Right.
and comfortable and happy, but there's still more that I could go. I still want to reach
Eventually,
for.
Right, you want to reach other.
Yeah, but if I don't get there, I could still be satisfied where I'm at.
Well, I think there's beauty in like smelling the roses in real time, right?
Exactly.
And like being
Facts.
able to enjoy like what you're doing while you're doing it, because it's like you only get your first time once, right? So like your first time for things once. So like, why wouldn't you want to enjoy it like as you're actually living it?
Yeah,
Type deal.
because then it's gone, and then you just look back and you're
Okay.
just like, man, everything was a blur because I just didn't appreciate
yeah.
anything. And we all know, being creators in general, all of us, like the journey is the best part of it.
Right.
You need
As
it.
exhausting as it
Yeah.
can
You
be.
need,
Oh my
you
God.
need the uncomfortability sometimes.
Yeah.
We need that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To make, and I mean, it just lets us, it shows you who you are at the end of the day, whether you're going forward or you're going to keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But people see it and view it different ways. You know what I mean? Some people start later in life.
Yeah,
Which is cool.
that's true.
But
Yeah, yeah.
it's better later than never, right?
Ex- yeah,
Right.
facts.
Yeah, man.
So, like, my question to you is, this is just a random question because I never have anything prepared. Is so in doing the freestyles, because again, I don't see a lot of people with a consistency like that. Obviously, there are many avenues of promotion and things like that. Like, what made you want to do freestyles, like consistent freestyles? Like, some people could be like, yeah, I'll drop a freestyle a month, or here and there as promo, but like you do it like super consistently
Every week, right?
every
It's
week, right? Yeah.
Yes, every week. I haven't dropped in the last 3 just because I just given the other tracks time to breathe. So
Yeah.
people just, you know what I mean,
You have to.
catch up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm gonna continue dropping again in the next week or 2.
Yeah.
I got like the next 3 tracks ready to go.
Nice.
And I also got songs coming out instead of the freestyles. So got a lot of work.
It's a good mix.
A lot,
Good mix.
right.
But yeah, what
my-
made you want to do like that kind of like promo work, if you will, versus just other obviously options that are out there?
So, I mean, I'm from the era where we all know lyrics, real hip hop, real words, poetry, bars. That's a never ending breed, a never ending. Right. So, we was going through a big phase around here with the trap music and the drill music and a lot of mumble rap going on. You feel me? And I don't know. I really appreciate hip hop, and me, I'm a real lyricist, so I was taking that as disrespect, and I wasn't going at anybody. I was just trying to remind people that bars still mattered. That's what the point of this is. You know what I mean? And
No, that's dope.
and they'll always matter. Hip hop took over the world. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that was the point, just trying to, just remind people what it is and where hip hop started. Not here in mass, but how hip hop, how you really do it. You know what I mean?
Plus, it's like the founder of what we're listening to today. It didn't,
Facts.
what was created today stemmed from that. Just like what hip hop came from was jazz and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So it's like I think we forget that sometimes. Like, I'm still a huge like jazz head too sometimes.
I love jazz,
especially with the vinyl and stuff like that.
Love me some jazz.
Like, we need people that are still advocating for these genres, because it's like it just reaches a point where there's just like one dominant, and then like there's like the ladder effect all the way down, instead of being like they're all on the same level And it's just like, no, like they're all dope and they're all fused into each other, and people forget that. They're just like, no, this is drill and mumble rap and whatever. And it's like, no, but this came from this and this and a little bit of this with sprinkled with a little bit of that.
Facts, and
Like,
mix it all up. Hey,
Yeah.
history repeats itself.
it does.
Sometimes
Oh,
in a different
100%.
way, but at the end of the day, it's all the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just a reminder, and it's like as creators, you know, this is what we do. You know, we take time. Like I put a lot of pain in my music. You know what I mean? I make sure that when people hear it, they feel it. So I don't know, like you take something that I love, like that we love music, and then you start some sort of era, some sort of like, you know what I mean? It's just kind of sort of like disrespect, because it's not a breed that's gonna be forever. It's gonna die. If it was forever, then it's something that we can acknowledge, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, that's what the point of that was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Facts.
No, like I said, I think it's needed because I just don't want people to think that hip hop is that dying breed type of thing, which
Facts.
I mean, we all know it's not, but
No.
you know, they're obviously with just the new age, they're just like, nope, like this is the only, essentially, like theoretically, this is the only type of music that's out right now. And it's like,
that's what they hear.
no. Like you gotta understand that this was a very iconic thing and still is, because without it, this would not exist.
I wouldn't be doing what we do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, that's the father, right?
Yeah, and I wouldn't know what to do, man.
Our children it is.
If I didn't have music, man. I mean, we all say the same thing. If I didn't have music, man, I don't know
Nah, but
where my therapy would stem from.
back to what you were saying, like, it's people. I feel like a lot of people are trying to sound the same, thinking like sounding the same was cool. You know what I mean? Like, being different's that's always it, right?
Well, my thing is, I'd rather stand out than fit in.
Yeah.
Why try to fit in when you can stand out? Hearing that from Joe Budden and what's the name of the song? Just to Be Different. Like that song honestly for me is what took me over the edge of really pursuing a career of hip hop. Was that song Just to Be Different? DMX was definitely my
Hell yeah.
just
That's a
writer
classic.
influence. Yeah.
Classic.
My writer influence and getting me writing and everything, but that song in itself is just like,
Rest in peace.
yeah, facts. But I'd rather stand out than why try to fit in when you can
Facts,
stand
man.
out. Like, because you think about it, like we all know music is so saturated as it is. So if you're sounding and looking like everybody else,
It's gonna be boring. You know what I mean?
you're less likely to pop out.
No one's gonna see you because you're just so blended in.
Yeah, it's like Where's Waldo? You know, it's like a Where's Waldo book. You know, and everybody just looks the same, and you're trying to find that one Waldo that just looks different than everybody else. Because again, you're gonna have some influences that are gonna mix in with everybody, but there's always that one Waldo that looks different than everybody else.
Right. And no disrespect to some.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I like some of the music, like, you know what I mean. Some of the new
Facts.
artists today.
Yeah.
No disrespect to none of the new artists, and none, you know what I mean. It's not that. It's a real lyricist, a real MC will understand what I'm talking about, because you can still be in that trap era. Look at Lil Baby. Lil Baby got bars, and
Yeah.
he out here. You know what I mean, with that vibe, you know, with that flow. I can't do it, but you know what I mean? Yeah, but facts. And it's just showing people that, you know, lyrics matter, man.
Yeah. You can have that balance, and you don't have to succumb to just the atypical of what people are putting out.
Facts.
Like you can have the bars and still drill and kill it on a track and connect with people.
Yeah,
I
man.
feel like that's a true artist though, like to be able to do that all, like to be able to fit into that, like to be able to write actual quality bars, and then to be able to fit into your like what's hot now, because like you're smart and you know what people want to hear, and then I don't know, just do your own thing. Like I feel like that's what a true artist is.
Yeah, man.
I like the versatile. I like seeing an artist that is versatile. Like whether you know, like they can sing, they can rap, they can jump on a country track or a rock track, or you know, but still again hold the emphasis
down.
of what hip hop is.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, I'm gonna jump on a jazz track, Dad's Flow. I'm gonna do some singing, you know, stuff like that. Like, but and then still rap on top of it. Like stuff like that is super dope. But like like you said, and again, it's no diss to anybody that's making music. Go
not
out,
at all.
follow your passion,
Not at
do what
all.
you want to do. But when I see people that are just doing the same sound, same just kind of whatever, it just gets, like you said, it gets to be boring.
Yeah,
And
man.
I want to hear something different.
Facts.
I feel like people appreciate like anybody that's just authentically them, like whether it's good or bad or like crazy or weird. I feel like people just appreciate authenticity.
Yeah.
So like as long as you're leaning into like whatever you are and like what you're good at, I feel like people will always ride for you.
Yeah,
Facts.
because the same stuff sounds the same over and over
Right.
again. It gets old
It
when
really
you
does.
start
Yeah, it
hearing the
does,
same
man.
topics.
It's like, and then it's like, it makes you like, no disrespect, it makes you like, listen to that kind of music, and then you miss out on the people that actually do have bars. Oh, I ain't even hear about this dude because all the rest of the BS that's going on, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like,
And it's like, okay, like, and again, I'm not knocking, talking about
It's
money.
like, okay, that's cool, but like, what is your story? Like,
Right.
what do you have to say? What do you have to talk about?
Yeah.
You know?
Because it's like,
Right.
I'm not knocking talking about money. If you want to talk about money, cars, girls, whatever, do your thing. But for me, I was just thinking about this. Like, your experiences, like, you could be homeless and I could have had homeless experiences. But they're going to be completely different. Even in that same aspect, even though they're the same story, they're still different.
right.
They could still be different. So it's like, yeah, we could be talking about the same topic,
But in different
but the
ways.
story is going to be also it's going to be portrayed very differently based on just who we are as artists.
Your lenses are different.
Yeah.
Like how you view the world is different. Of course it's gonna be different.
Yeah. You know, you could put it on like a hard, just boom bap track, or you could put it to a more melodic track, you know, and just really getting into the hard feels. Both of them are going to have hard
It all
feels to
depends
it.
on how you feel. And like I mean, like as an artist and creator, whatever, you can kind of like hearing or like feeling whatever it is that we creating. You can kind of like visualize and hear like what the beat sounds like. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we don't talk about like, oh, this one like this is a club band. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of, you know what I mean? You can kind of pick and choose. And
Yeah.
and you know like what you want as an artist. I like this.
Oh,
beat.
yeah.
Some
Yeah.
right? Some artists like just club beats, you know, and drill beats, you know.
And that's okay. There's a space for that, and
Right,
it's
right.
needed out there. But
Right.
you know,
And back to what you were saying, people scared to be real. Like I feel like having no talent is the new talent. I forget who said that. I think it was
I saw
who the one that said that? I was watching.
I
a
feel like
reel.
it was on like
Right?
Instagram or something.
You saw that,
It was
right?
like a reel
Yeah.
or something on Instagram.
Yeah. It's
It
like
was-
it's like the truest facts for real.
It was like a lady and she was sitting at a table and she was like breaking down the music business and she was like, you really don't have to be talented. Like this is a business. It's a gimmick. It's more than just your talent. Like it's about your image. Like are people following you? Do people buy into you? Like
Yeah.
do people care what you're doing? Like you don't necessarily have to be like an amazing vocalist or have amazing bars or blah blah blah. Like do people just wanna are people into you? Cool.
And facts. We're living in a world that analytics comes first, and it's kind of it's not fair to us. You heard?
It's all backwards.
It overshadows the
he
rest
hit the
of
nerve on that one.
Trigger.
Right,
It's all
Yeah.
backwards.
4-syllable trigger word analytics.
Analytics is it's an op and an ally at the same time. You know?
Terrible.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, facts. Because
Off in an alley.
you know it could really hurt you and it could really help you. And even still, as you see, the people that have mad high numbers, they still ain't getting paid what they're supposed to be getting paid. Yeah, man.
And I've said it before, the interaction is not even matching the following either.
Yeah.
Like, I'll say it again just for the sake of conversation. Like, I was just experimenting. I looked at J. Cole. We'll say he has like 10 million followers, but then you go to a post and it's got like 1 million
A
likes.
million likes. Like that.
So it's like, wait, you have all these people that supposedly support you and you're top high tier.
yeah, it's
and-
like the best
but
rapper out
you get like
right.
1%. Yeah. But you get 1% of your
yeah.
following.
That just shows you love and hate. Hate is stronger than love, man. Unless it's, I mean, you know how many pages people create fake pages. Even, you know what I mean? Even like the real page, there'll be like the real J. Cole, and then there'll be another one that says the real J. Cole.
Yeah.
But I feel like
like,
even
no.
like on like my page, like I have like 1,200 followers or something, but there's like the amount of people that actually like my post, comment, or look at my stories is only, it's not that many compared to how many followers I have, you know?
Which is so confusing. It
I don't
confuses
understand
me.
It's
and
the algorithm, man. Something wrong with that, right?
All that stuff is like,
I mean, I get the
over
point.
my head.
I mean, I get like if you get to the point of where you're following 2,000 people, so then you have to get through all the posts to get to Kayla, you know, and like it, and that's where the algorithm comes in, because if you're active, Instagram wants to put those people in front of you first,
oh, okay.
and then
Instagram,
and then it goes down. So if you disappear for even a day,
Oh, hi.
lately,
it's a wrap.
it's a wrap. You're not existent.
It's a wrap.
You're pushed to the bottom, and whoever is still staying consistent every hour, they're getting pushed to the top.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
I'm exaggerating,
follow me, but
but-
you can't
No,
see
but
my
it's true.
posts.
That's why, like, I mean, these artists, it's like you need a team, man. This Instagram thing, you need a team. Somebody. just taking
You're
the
not
post.
wrong,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, it's like it takes a lot of time, and like
Yeah.
there's so much that you can do.
Yeah, you
on
need
your
like
own.
yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you need like 400 hours of content, and then people in place to just post it for you consecutively throughout the day, or else you're, at least social media wise, you're not gonna be consistent whatsoever.
I'm still stuck in that brain of like, what, people are really gonna care? Like, people want to watch me walk to my car? Like, what, like, why, what am I doing? Like, I feel like I don't think like a content creator. And like, don't get me wrong, I will be the one that's watching reels of people doing like mundane everyday stuff. But then when it comes to like creating them myself, I'm like, do people care about that?
Yeah, like I was on Snapchat. Well, I don't have it anymore. I got rid of it. It was not for me.
Oh,
But
yeah,
like,
I haven't had that in a while.
there's people like I would see, you know, they would pop up in your highlights or whatever, like, oh, follow me or whatever. And it was like I went through and I was just looking and I was just like, mirror pic, food, mirror pic. I'm like, and people are subscribing to this.
Yeah.
Like people are literally subscribing to see somebody
They're
take
bored, man.
400 mirror pics
People bored, man.
and food.
Like,
Like it blows my mind. I'm like, yeah, if you're into culinary, yeah, like, oh, that looks good. I may want to try that someday, but
that's what people doing on their off time.
No, but that's like,
you know?
or they're just standing on the street like asking you, how much do you pay for rent? Or like,
I've seen
what
those.
song are you listening to right now? Like that.
and they get trends, and they get like vibes going. It's crazy. The dumbest shit. Hey, the smallest thing can make money nowadays is how we market. It's a plan, bro. It's crazy.
that's what I'm like. I feel like I'm just making this more complicated. I just need to go do a bunch of dumb stuff, and my career will just magically take
No,
off.
I literally was thinking about
Come
that the
on,
other
man.
day. I was like, I could stand in downtown Lowell and just ask people just dumb shit, and like it would be fine. Like I would just do that, and it would be content, and it would be fine.
Yeah, like I was just thinking about it. I could literally take that cone picture, go in the middle of downtown, just stand in the middle of downtown, have Crispy film it, and then put it online of me just standing in the middle of downtown with a giant cone canvas, and probably take off.
So
Right.
you know we have to do this.
It's like
So you know we now have to take that.
I'm gonna have to send Mike a text and see if we
It's
can.
fine. I'll be the one with the loudspeaker. Have you seen the one of like the gentleman and he does like positive cat calls? He's like, you look like you know how to fold a bed sheet or like whatever.
Oh,
like, you look like
that's
you have
awesome.
Apple Care. Like I don't. And he just like screams like random shit at people. I'll do that.
No, I
and hold
haven't
that
seen
picture.
Yeah.
no, it's true. Sometimes you gotta go out your way to go viral. You know, once you go viral, it's a wrap.
But like we said before, it's like we do that, then how do we follow it up? Then you got to follow it up, because if not,
Yeah, people gonna be expecting that. Yeah.
That's why I'm like.
it's exhausting.
It is.
That's why I'm like.
I mean, look at the baby. He came out performing in a diaper. That's
That
he,
what?
That's how he was. That's how he
I did
popped
not know
off. I
Well, you
forget
gotta think
what
the baby.
show it was at. Though. He came performing in a diaper.
He was playing on his
Thing.
name, yeah.
Yeah, he
but
did. He did his thing. A full diaper.
that's wild.
And some Air Forces.
Pictures.
Because
are
that makes
forever.
it, because that makes it so much better.
Video
That the
footage is
forces-
forever.
Yeah, no, it is though.
No.
Yeah, he's gonna. I don't know.
No.
I couldn't. My integrity. I don't know. Personally, my integrity is different.
You would not rock a diaper with Air Forces.
No shot.
Okay.
No shot. Like I'm not dissing him by any means, but if anybody that was there at the
I
show
don't think he's gonna see this.
last Saturday with Murph running around the entire show with no shirt on.
Bahama Murph.
No, he had no shirt on.
First of all, he started off as like Yacht Daddy Murph. Can we talk about that? Then he like turned into Bahama Murph. I was like, I don't hate this look. I did have a discussion with him. I was like, I think you should lean into this and make this a full thing. But yeah, that was.
Yacht Daddy Murph.
It was
It
interesting.
really was. I was like, he pops out with like this island shirt.
He did that before though, because he did it. It
was like open. There was like
the
chest hair
acrobatic
involved.
show. The acrobatic show that was at Thirsty
He was like,
First.
he was on one.
Yeah. No, but he literally took the whole thing off and was rocking sets.
Well, I mean, free
with
the
no
nip,
shirt
I
on.
say. Good,
Yeah.
Shout out, Murph.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not judging it at all. I'm like, I wouldn't do it, but that's just me
Hey,
personally.
salute to him, right?
Yeah,
Right?
no.
I'm like, free the
Salute
nip.
to him.
Good for
Break
you.
up.
buddy.
More power to the homie.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Murph. That's my guy. That's my hype. Well, amazing, talented artist. He's also my hype man too. So
Well, that's what's up. Hey,
Yeah.
more power to you, man.
yeah, no, he kills it.
Hey, how about salute to all the independent artists playing at work? Let's talk about
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
in the 978.
It's a lot. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people out there, and there's a lot of people that are doing it right.
We're doing it finally, man. We're finally getting some shine, man.
hmm People are finally getting it, and they're
Facts.
like, okay, this is what I need to do. This is where I need to find my resources. Not like who I need to work with, because there's plenty of people that you can work with that are going to do it right. But they're getting to the point where they're like, I need to work with people to get it right,
Facts.
and do the right steps. Like we've said before, it's like where there are people that are no longer trying to skip steps
They
to
just-
get where
right.
they need to.
Man, we always got to stay a student.
Yeah, you
Yep.
gotta be a forever
You
student.
gotta learn, man. You can't shortcuts cool and all that. You know, it can get you. Sometimes it can get you the bread, the bag that you've always been looking for. But then, what happens when you no longer have that bag?
I feel like shortcuts
You
never
know what I
work
mean?
out.
Or like right?
Because in the end, it costs you more time because something along the way is gonna come. Just because like you know what I mean? Like you cut a corner here, you're gonna have to make up for that somewhere.
Mhm.
Like something's coming, and it's probably gonna be way more
Facts.
inconvenient than if you just didn't.
Just do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I say to the kids. I say to the kids that so I'm helping the other building with the younger kids, so they're not like
That's cool.
6 to 9 years old. Usually
That's
I do teens.
Oof, Jay.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, but that's
Patience to Joe over here.
Father, give me strength.
Yeah.
power to you.
Yeah, right.
Power to you.
So when they come in or they're doing stuff, whatever, they have to go wash their hands.
Right.
And, you have to put we try to encourage them to do it the right way. Water on your hands, put soap on your hands, rinse your hands off, dry your hands off. And I'll watch them and they'll skip some steps and then they'll come back and I'm like, I need you to wash your hands all over again because you didn't do it right. And the thing that I say every time, you waste more time doing it the wrong way than the right way, to go off what you said.
Facts.
And I'm like, if you just did it the right way the first time, we wouldn't be back here
Yeah.
starting over trying to figure out how to get it right.
Right.
Just do it right the first time.
Do it right the first time, so you'll save all that time.
Be better.
Better.
That's like our new saying. Just
Yeah,
be better.
just
Okay.
Better.
That's like stuff you learn like parents teach us. Like,
Mhm.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
I learned it from
Well,
my
you
pop.
would think.
Right.
Mhm.
You know,
Oh, they'll fight you on it.
facts.
Hand washing. They're like, why? One kid literally today was just like, I don't need paper towels. I can basically I can just rub it on my pants. Like, no. Now you have soaked pants.
Kids are different.
Yeah, they are.
Why?
They're just at that age though. Like at the same time, I'm like, you're just really, and it's gonna sound rude, but it's really not rude. You're just developmentally not there yet
I was
at that age.
gonna just say that. So that's not rude. It's just what it is.
Yeah, it's just so you have to understand that's just where they are
It's
at
like,
their
by
age.
all means, if you want to use your pants as a paper towel, do
Yeah,
it. It's
yeah.
not hurting me. It's gonna inconvenience you.
We all did it at one point. Right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh my god, working in restaurants, I have to say I had that bad habit because you're wearing an apron or whatever,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you do that all the time. And I notice that sometimes if I'm not thinking, I'm on autopilot and I'm cooking, I'll do that. And I'm like, whoa, where shit.
It's a habit. Still.
I just
What
put
am I
all this
doing?
in my food. Awesome, great.
What am I doing?
I'm just giving myself cancer, putting my hands on my food or something.
No, I'm like wiping my hands on my pants.
Mm.
It's like habits, man. You know?
Yeah, no, that's big facts. Yeah, I know. I always have to sometimes give them grace too, because I'm like, man, I know I was doing that at your age, so I can't front a little bit. I mean, I'm gonna try to correct you, but I can't hold you to it too much, because
I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know if you have kids.
not yet.
I have a son.
Amen.
But that is so. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. We all did it, so yeah.
Yeah.
My son does not like paper towels.
Oh, so you
Yeah,
use pants?
Yeah. That's why I know exactly. I feel
Either that or just soaked hands, or they just walk around with soaked hands. You're like, come here, man, high five. And just like, why did you just high five me with a just soaked hand? Like, what is?
I know, you're like, how are you walking around like that?
There's no soap in between the fingers. It's like, yo, man, come on, man, you can't get sandwich like that.
No, that's the best too, because they're like, I washed my hands.
PBJ, bro.
Yeah. You can't have soapy flavored PB&Js.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna work. The best too is like when they have the soap in their hands and they're like, I wash my hands right. You're like, no, I can see the fragment of soap in your hand. Like, what are you talking about? Like, come on, man.
Kids are hilarious.
Yeah, no, I love kids. Kids, they're fun.
I'll tell you how
I
it
think I
is.
learn a lot from children.
Facts.
Just like the way that they view the world and like what they're interested in. Like I always love like sitting with kids and just being like, so like, what's your favorite thing? Like I'm like, what show me your favorite music? Like what's going on in school? Like just the way that they observe things. It's so interesting and refreshing, and it just reminds me to like stay like that, you know, and especially as creatives, like, because the world sucks sometimes.
Whole world.
So I feel like sometimes you forget to like stay fresh and like stay open and have your brain be there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's true.
Because their responses are always completely different than how we would respond to things.
Usually
too.
hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Like,
it.
Class was so dumb. I did not want to color today, but my teacher made me. And you're just like, oh, to be so innocent, you know.
Yeah, to have that like to have that be like a
Your struggle.
pivotal moment of your day. Like I miss that.
You're like, wait, that's your struggle?
Right.
I'm struggling just to get out of bed.
Right.
You're worried about coloring.
Don't
Awesome.
play.
No,
You know I can't move right now.
I was not referring to that.
Don't play with me,
I
Jerry.
literally have a hard time getting up. I'm speaking for myself here. I'm speaking for myself. I find it hard sometimes.
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
Right? Nah, but ain't nobody more honest than a little kid though. They'll tell you how you feel, how you look.
I know. Why you look like that? You're like,
man.
All the time. Why are you bald? Oh yeah, thanks.
oh my
Okay,
god,
perfect.
my little niece, she was like, Kay, you should part your hair in the middle. You should not part your hair on the side. I was like, okay, girl. I'm like, sorry.
She's like, okay, I'm done. All right.
Yeah,
You wanna do it for me?
I know, right? She's like, okay.
Yeah, that's just weird. I'm like, at this point, I'm just like, all right.
You gotta give up. No, you can't fold though. You can't fold on that.
No,
you know what? I'll get you next time.
Mm-hmm. That's why I work with the teens, because I can bang around with them a little bit. We play basketball or something, dodgeball.
Cool.
I'm like, headshots count. Headshots count. We go for it. Like, yeah, headshots count, dude. You get hit, you out.
See, I don't
Bros
know.
over there just fucking.
Oh, 100%. I don't hold back at all.
They really do it.
I'm throwing my shoulder out by the time the game is over.
Yeah. I'm like, honey, you're 34. They're not. Don't.
Yeah, no, I'm throwing it out. At least hitting somebody.
It becomes personal. So,
Yeah.
It becomes like a small beef. Oh, word. All right.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's what they're trying to do to you. So it's like, all right, thank
This
you.
was that report I had to do earlier. Yeah. Yeah.
You guys ever been hit in the face by a dodgeball?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Then you feel like
You still hear the.
Like,
You can
alright,
hear the
good.
sound.
Yeah.
You know the
You know
sound.
what? I'm not in this group, and I'm happy to not be.
All right.
Can't.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Can't
No,
relate.
I'm
Yeah.
listening
You
to
can hear it,
this.
you can feel
You're
it.
lucky. Yeah. Because
Like-
then you ring. Oh, you hear it, right? You hear your
You
ears.
got the
ring.
old school dodgeballs though.
For
Yeah,
real.
you can still hear the
Not new
sound.
one. Yeah, exactly. I can still hear that.
You can see a picture and instantly hear the sound of that dodgeball hitting something or
Actually.
someone. Yeah. The ding! Like you hear it in your head. Yeah.
Rattles you.
Yeah. You're like, oh. It just gives you chills. You're just like,
One of
oh.
those things like Charlie horses. Like when you pop, like when you play basketball and you catch it.
Jam your
pop.
finger?
One of those, yeah.
Oh,
you hit your foot and your
hate
toe
that.
against something. Like it's just one of those things in life that just hurts.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta go through it.
Yep. Man, I get Charlie horses in bed now. It sucks. We just
Yeah,
laying
bro.
there. Just, we talked about this. Like,
I'm so sorry to laugh at your pain.
It's happened, bro. We all go through it.
you're like, I can't move.
I get Charlie horses in bed. Well, you know what, Jay? I can't pick up cases of water, so it's okay. That's fine. We're there.
Yeah, you still here though.
You still here though?
Still here though, representing.
Amen.
You got for real battle wounds.
Yeah.
Gotta get through it. Gotta get through it. I wanted to ask. This was a good question that Kayla had. Was like interacting with fans. Do you want to share it? Because you
It was. I
have
don't have my
more.
phone. It was a post on Instagram. It was like something going around, and it was just asking artists like, how do you like to interact with your fans, and how has that changed over time? And like for you guys, like I feel like you guys, each of you could speak on that because you've been doing this, each of you, for like a very long time.
Yeah.
I'll start with you, man.
You're the guest.
Yeah, you the guest, man.
To not make it personal, I always ask for like pointers. What do you guys think about this track? Or like what you guys want to hear next? Or like what you guys want from me next?
Mm-hmm.
And then we open conversations about that. That just it keeps a balance on your personal life and then also business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how I do it. Everybody does different. Like call my phone. Like, I don't do all that.
Yeah. No, I definitely avoid that.
I love my fans. I love y'all. You know,
Facts.
bro,
Yeah.
It's just right now, I'm focused on putting on more work for y'all, right? And then if I answer the phone for every single, you know what I mean? Then it's like you're gonna have mad piles of work. I don't know. You're never gonna finish what you started.
But you got to keep it separate too. Like there are two separate things. It's just like your normal 9 to 5. You try not to take your 9 to 5 and bring it home. So you don't want to bring your music home. Like you want to be able to separate those and like, I've had my music time. Now this is family time.
Right.
Especially with kids and stuff too. Like, you want to make sure that you're spending time with your kids, your family. Like that's just as valuable. And obviously doing music is what we're trying to do to make money to provide for them. But we have to have that balance of it all too. But yeah, no, I'm with you on there.
Very important, brother.
Keeping those.
It's a vicious cycle.
It is. But yeah, definitely keep them separate.
Yeah, man. It's important. But then once you get lost, all your work, then it's like you're missing all this family time. Balance is important.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important.
But I like what you said too of asking the fan like their pointers, because then it makes them more a part of the creation and the music.
I think it's important to like bring them in, and it's obviously like if they're supporting you, it matters what they want to hear. Like you want to know, it's like okay, so like what do you want to hear? What do you want to see? Like what's important to you? Like why wouldn't you like bring them in on the experience? I like that you do that because I feel like some people don't. Like what's the point then?
Yeah.
It's like this is a business.
Yeah.
Business, I like constructive criticism. I don't like yes man. Sometimes I want to, that way like it helps you. And you do damage. Like with what you know what I mean? With those pointers you get and whatever you're putting in yourself, you mix that up and you just create something crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, there's got to be a level where like you have to still create what you want to create, but still factor in what they're saying to an extent. Because again, you don't want to lose yourself just appeasing people, in the creation of music. Because I mean, speaking me personally, like that was like in my beginning years, like I feel like that's where I started to kind of lean in. Based off of the people that I was around, I was creating music based off of what they were interested in, instead of really dialing back and being like, I need to be J Faith, hip hop artist, not what they're trying, like what they're into, and so they'll like me, essentially.
That's what's up that you realize that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
that's what's up, bro.
So when like I did Apartments, I was like, this is going to be something very different than what people have heard, where it's 100% me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it's you.
Yeah.
It's you.
It's not sprinkled with anything. And again, shout out to all those people because they definitely influence. This is all coming from love. Shout out to all these people that influenced me and just even coming up and helping guide me throughout my, the beginning of my career. But again, I recognize that I wasn't doing it for myself in a sense, in a percentage of it was not for myself, where it should have been a higher percentage for that. So
that's more important, bro.
Oh yeah.
You gotta do it because it's your passion. It's coming from you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming from anybody. Like, it's coming from your core, your soul. So make sure that and then you come first, and then they come second, and then switch it over. And then we're doing it. You know what I mean? Make sure that they come first, and then you come second after. You know what I mean? Just always ask. That's what I do. What do you guys want first? What do you think? Did I like? You know what I mean? Like, should I go faster? Should I go slower? Do you like the way I? You know what I mean? Do you like the way the introduction of the song, the way I started the verse? Just to, like, you know what I mean? That way I know who's paying attention too. You also want to know who's paying attention, just who's just watching you.
Right.
And that's why I do it too. You know, who's watching, like, who's showing, like, who's a robot. There's a lot of robots.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's just like we talked about. You have 1,500 people, but you get 50 likes. I'm just using random numbers.
Yeah.
So it's like now you see who's really investing in you, and then those are the people that you keep in your back pocket too. Of just like I've always said, like I have people in my back pocket of, like, if I ever just get to that point where I want to be in music. I mean, I am where I like to be, but again, I'd like to go higher. Of, like, if I can get to the point where, like, I could fly them out to a show type of deal. Like, I remember you when I was making my second and third project, struggling, and you were like, man, keep going. I love what you're doing. Like, those are people that I remember and want to, like, give back to them, because y'all were paying attention. Y'all were paying attention when it mattered it still matters now, but because the beginning is always the hardest part. That's where you start to question it probably the most.
You see, like, who was there for you and who's just jumping on the bandwagon
for the moment.
You know what I mean? Like, the cloud chasers or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to be with this person because he's hot now. You know, it's like, it's not cool. But respect to you.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves respect, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think, like, for me, like, one of the coolest things that I've encountered with a fan is that, like, he's from DC, and I talked to him about, like, upcoming shows and stuff like that. Like, even though he couldn't be at the show, he still bought a ticket.
That's dope.
You know,
just to support you.
He was there.
That's love.
Just
That's
to support
so
me.
cool.
He was
That's a
there
real fan.
from the actual beginning, before I started, like, putting out projects and stuff like that. Because I used to, just like, put out freestyles on Facebook with just me and like the webcam or something like that. He was there from that point on.
That's so
That's
He,
love,
cool.
man.
he listened to my first mixtape. He listened to my first, actual album on all platforms and everything. He's been there from the jump. He did that maybe a couple years ago.
That's dope.
So
Yeah.
cool.
That's
Wow.
love. That's
Right.
love.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's cool.
So,
Foundation is
from
different.
what you were saying, like, I would do that for that fan for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a dope.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That would be my answer, is like the people that are like, even like hitting you up, like the
Oh, excuse me.
you're good. The dude that was on tour with Just for Kicks and stuff like that. I'll just to keep his stuff personal. Like, he'll hit me up from time to time and he'll drop like a couple bars in there. So him and I will just go back and forth, just writing a couple bars here and there, just kind of like battling or just
Positive battling.
and just writing and seeing, what each other does, but just having those conversations. We all, you all know I love having conversations, but just keeping it real, keeping it true, keeping it also, as far as like my fan interactions, keeping it not into my family personal life, but keeping it outside of music too, where it's like, I am a human being too. I'm not just a music robot, but I do have other things that I do, like, yo, man, I just bought this vinyl, or, I'm about to go out to eat. It's been, one of my favorite places. Yo, it's my birthday. Oh, it's your birthday? Yo, happy birthday. Making those connections with people and just being real. Again, not divulging my entire life, my family, but
It's healthy, man.
Keeping it outside of music too, where it's, you're not that robot. Like, people can see you as a person.
Right.
And, because then, as I was just listening to a podcast earlier, and there's celebrities that have, it was Neo. So, not to bring that up, I don't know if anybody, like, Neo had a conversation about his child and them choosing a gender, and we're not going to get into that topic, but, or whatever,
That's
but
touchy. Yeah, I
For
know
sure.
that.
Now immediately
I know
you're like,
that.
we're not.
Yeah, no.
I know that
We're not.
though.
But somebody had put something up on his social apologizing for what he had said on an interview that he did. And then he came back himself with a video and said, listen, I am going to basically he said, like, I'm going to go against what, like, some publicist who has my access said.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's people that are running their accounts
Yeah.
and saying
that's
things
crazy.
that aren't them.
That's a good point.
That's crazy.
You know, and because what he said and what the apology was were two completely different things. Like, he still apologized for certain things, but he's like, no, I'm going to stand firm on what I am because I'm a father and this is what I believe in.
Right.
You know, again, I'm not going to touch that subject
Yeah,
with a 10 foot
I
pole.
hear you though. What you're trying to say,
But, you know, there's people that are running their accounts and they're not them. So I
That's
would
crazy.
rather be genuine and just be like,
Yeah.
yo, this is
That's
me,
the
this
point.
is who I am. You know, and then
it
it,
really is, and it happens every day, bro.
Mhm.
Just different situations. It's like you never know. Obviously, like unless you know the person, but you never know who's on the other side of that PC or phone. So it's like,
yeah,
especially like if you take your business real serious, you gotta be careful. You know.
yeah. Yeah, because especially in this day and age, you know, and he even said it too. He's like, if I get canceled for this, like whatever, like I'm prepared for a world without Neo. Essentially, is what he said, which is crazy to think. But he's like, I got a family to feed. I'm gonna do what I need to do for my family.
People crazy.
But you get canceled so quickly just for saying something. So it's like,
Yeah.
now you have to be so PC nowadays. It's like,
Yeah, you gotta be very careful how you.
which is crazy. Again, I've said it before.
I'm dropping
You can't have an
everything
opinion. Yeah,
I'm
man.
like, y'all, that's for real. I'm dropping everything.
Nah, you're
Nah.
good. You're good.
Nah, but it's true though. We can talk about some dope topics. Shout out to the last podcast I had, but you know, never again. Let's just say that.
That's fair. Hey, we all have those.
Y'all doing some real stuff over there. Y'all talking about some real.
Appreciate that.
And that's what hip hop needs, and not only hip hop, but just the whole culture. Whatever you're doing, all creation, like, this is what we need. You know, healthy conversation about what you're doing, what the artist is doing. You know what I mean, short-term goals. You know,
Just
the
life.
whole plan. Yeah.
Because like we said before, like your experience, my experience is gonna be completely different, even though we're doing the same exact thing. So how can we share that with other people? Hopefully, inspire them, help them grow. Because if we're out here trying to voice being a community as a hip hop culture, but yet you're over there, I'm over here, Crispy's over there somewhere, L.Y.F.E is in the bathroom somewhere, Kayla's downstairs.
Kayla's stuck right here because she can't.
Kayla's not moving from there.
Kayla's stuck.
But you know, we're being hypocritical about it. You know, like we're all in our own separate spaces.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't make sense. And then
You're out of frame.
what?
Life's out of frame.
Yeah, life's out of frame.
Yeah.
So,
You guys feel like Boston's coming together more now.
I do.
I feel like it is, yeah. Like slowly but surely.
Slowly,
It was very extremely separated, but like for the longest time.
Like
Wow.
go ahead.
Yeah, now everyone's coming together very, very slowly.
That's what's up. I'm happy. You know what I mean? Like
There's a
everybody.
lot of talented people
Oh,
out here.
man.
Like crazy.
I'm listening. That's all I've been listening to is just local
Just the
artists.
locals.
Yeah.
People killing it right now.
And like-
salute to everybody killing it for all the independent artists.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And like the thing that we always say on here is that like the more we come together, the more we can do, the more we can accomplish.
The more doors we can open. Bro.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that's the difference because I do think that there were artists out there, and maybe it was COVID and us just realizing like we need music, we need hip hop, we need community, we miss all of this stuff because we've been stuck in a house.
Yeah, true.
We need to get these people out. We need to push these people so people are even in just creators of hip hop and music are like, we need to come together because we can't let something like this happen again, and we got to keep music coming.
Gotta keep it
So
going.
now everybody is supporting each other, and there's more of that support system and community that is slowly building into each other and expanding further and further. So now we're seeing all these newer people. We're like, oh, these newer people. And it's like, maybe some of these people have probably been doing it for a while, but we haven't had that connection because everybody's been either a gatekeeper or just not being supportive the way that we should. So I think like we've been saying, I see that incline as well, and we've said it before. You know, I think we're approaching. I don't know when that's going to happen. Maybe within the next 5 years of Boston, or whether it's Boston or New England, as one of those staples that you hear of. New York, Atlanta, Philly. Of
I was just talking about that with somebody. We're about to be like that eventually.
you know,
Yeah.
where
I think
people,
I see it.
you know,
Facts.
where artists are coming, where it's just like, where do you find the best artists? Atlanta, Philly, Boston, New York.
Yeah.
Like Boston is in that
argument,
kind of tier.
in that
You know,
debate, yeah.
we're kind of like in like the second one, and we're kind of climbing up there.
Right now, no, telling it, man.
You know,
It's
so
good to see. You think it's because a lot of people are coming out now because, like you were saying, COVID, and like, you know, they think it's easier now because lack of confidence.
That's a good question.
Because lack of confidence. I know a lot of people that are amazing, and that's just because they do that, they lack that. It pushes them, it holds them back a little bit. You know what I mean? And maybe it wasn't. It isn't that, but maybe it is. You never know.
No, that's a good point. You never know. Yeah. You really don't.
But confidence, once you feel comfortable with who you are, and what you do, just let loose. Yeah. Go crazy.
Yeah, but that's the biggest thing. If you don't have that confidence, you're not gonna push yourself to get out there further. That's true. You're just gonna hold back because you're gonna be like, maybe, you know, you're gonna have that timidness. You're gonna have the resistance to push forward to do that. Whereas if you do have that confidence, and it also helps to have those people around you, that community that are supporting you in whatever sort of way. You're like, yeah, man, like we're doing this. Yeah, like we're going, down, like we're pushing forward.
That's honestly that's most important. Like who's around you? That not only tells you who you are as a person, but you know what I mean. You feel comfortable. You know what I mean, creating, making plans. We're gonna do this. You got this. You got that. We got that. Now together we got this.
What's that saying? Like, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, don't. It's all right.
What's it saying? Like, if you want to see your future, look at your friends or something like that.
I mean, I don't know if it's the same. I've never heard it, but it sounds right.
Yeah, it sounds. Yeah. You want to see? Yeah, exactly. That's the same. Yeah. You want to see your future?
Basically,
look
like
at the people around you, your friends. Yeah. Like, it's true.
Well, yeah,
who you have around you can affect you because, I mean, right? Real estate agents roll with real estate agents, right?
Yeah.
Producers roll with producers, or bankers roll with bankers. I don't know. It's true.
We got to realize more and more that we don't have to reach so damn far. Like we're here. You know what I mean?
Like this is a network in itself. You know,
exactly.
Just
and
even
like that's why I love to see like so many like more artists like be also promoters and putting on shows and putting each other on because you gotta put yourself in the limelight. You know what I mean? Put yourself there and people will see.
Fight your fear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, like you said, like I think people don't recognize the network that they have. They see like maybe 5 people in a room, but don't realize the network that they have. Like he has his own network. She has hers. Like you have, you have yours. Like we all have our own web. And when you tie all that together, like you just expanded it to like 500 people.
Right. That's really
just within the room. You know,
you got something powerful.
Right. Like you see 5 people, but there's really 500 connections that are sitting right in this room, probably. Right. You know, whether it's through Instagram or people that we actually know in the physical, like probably adds up to maybe 500 people. You know, somehow, some way. Yeah. You know,
from different platforms, and even not social media too.
Yeah. You know, so it's like you never know.
And think about.
And you don't know when those people are gonna surface either, because I mean, a perfect example of that is when Just for Kids went on tour with Chris Webby. Right. There's a lot of people that were just like waiting. You know what I mean? Like to for him to show up in their state and stuff like that. And people see you on social media. You don't know how many people like you said are watching. You know what I mean? Sometimes it takes them a while to be like, all right, I'm here.
The word spreads around. If people ain't watching, hey, I saw this, I saw that, and that. You know what I mean? So then people start making reels and then memes, and then all of a sudden it becomes one big thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Well, I want to respect your time. I know that you trying to head out. So is there any final thoughts that you want to share with everybody? Shout outs? How can people link up with you
well, first of all,
to connect with
you?
You?
for having me.
Appreciate
you.
Much
Every
love.
single one of y'all, for real. I'm gonna start dropping again the next 2 weeks. We're gonna continue on K9z Bars Part 11. You can find me. The easiest way to find me is at my website, www.k9z.com, and that's the easiest way that you can get to know me as an artist and a person.
Word. Word. And we'll put that up there.
That will link, and on my website will link you to all my platforms. That way, it's just easier that way.
Beautiful.
So www.k9z.com.
Easy enough.
Got it.
Easy enough.
Peace and love, everybody.
Yeah, I want to thank you for coming out. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it too. For sure.
Like, guys, definitely, if you ever want to come back on,
I can't
we
reach
get some
you.
more.
I can't reach you. I'm sorry.
I know you're injured right now.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Salute.
Right. But yeah, if you ever want to come back on, you're obviously more than welcome.
I appreciate
Definitely
that.
have
And I'll spread
continue
the
the
word.
conversations, man.
No,
'Cause
definitely.
conversations are always different every time. This guy's been on like 50 times, so and we've had different conversations every single time. So
I'll be on in a little bit too.
yeah, is there?
Hey, when you have people that know what they want, know what they're doing, it makes conversations. It makes it more interesting. Oh yeah, but you can learn from people that actually know what the hell they're doing and know what the hell they want. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This has been another amazing episode 64. My name is Jay Faith.
My name is L.Y.F.E.
And I'm Kayla.
K9s.
And we also got Crispy in the back.
Hey.
And this is the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast. We'll catch y'all next time. What's up?
Peace and love, y'all.
You're